Good morning, people. Here we go then. A couple of days after Welshman Mr. Osborne decided to drive his truck, hired rental truck, into a group of Muslims coming out from prayers. I've left it for a few days, well, a couple of days, to make a video on it because I wanted to see all the fallout, see what was going to be said. There's still not much come out about the guy himself, which would probably indicate that he wasn't involved with any groups, because they would have probably found that out already. It would appear that he's quite a violent, obnoxious guy in his community who likes his drink, which there's a lot of people around the country that do that. He was a father of four. Funny enough, he wasn't reported as a white English, a white European with social problems or mental health issues or even alcohol issues. Wasn't reported like that. He was a white extremist, far right extremist, if you prefer, and that was reported from the first few seconds of it happening, which is fucking clever of them to work it out that quick, isn't it? So, I've got to go careful what I say, because you know what they're like. They will try and twist everything you say, and that everything could be being watched at the moment. But the Islamist terrorists, they've been building up the gunpowder, barrel after barrel after barrel after barrel. They put the fuse in, and they're getting ready to light it. But instead, a Welshman drives from Cardiff to London and does one thing which he shouldn't have done, because those people may have been innocent. We don't know that. They could have been terrorists. We don't know, and we probably never will know. But now apparently the fuse has been lit by a white Welshman. Sorry, I should say Welshman because they won't like me saying Englishman. British guy. So all that gunpowder that's been built up and built up and built up by Islam, ready to try and destroy Britain, has now been turned on its head, and the fuse is being lit by a Brit. There you go, bit of poetry for you. It's absolutely ludicrous that the rest of the people in the country cannot see what's going on. Just watching the video. If you saw the full video on YouTube, the person that videoed the aftermath of the truck hitting the people, they caught the guy. Right, okay, probably he was drunk out of his head, otherwise he'd probably got away. But they had him pinned to the floor, fair enough. And he might have got injured while they tried to bring him down. Totally understand that, and just knocked a load of people over. But what I saw on that video isn't what they showed on, I think it was ITV, I saw it. Do you know the bit they left out? They left out the bit where this bloke was totally subdued on the floor by 3 or 4 people. Another guy comes up and kicks him right in his temple. Now, a lot of us would say, if it was the other way around, well, he deserved it. Okay, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But why wasn't that shown on television? Well, we all know why it wasn't shown on television. You can't show a Muslim doing something like that. That would be absolutely outrageous to think that a Muslim could kick a guy who couldn't defend himself in the head. Because if they'd shown that, what he did, people would say, well, if they're like that, well, you can understand it a bit, can't you? And this leads back all the way to everything that's been going on recently, the cover-ups, the way that they're just Asian men, and they've all got mental problems, they're all lone wolves. This guy couldn't have been more of a lone wolf if he tried. He just went and hired a bloody truck because he was pissed off with his life, he was pissed off with what was going on in the world, He was pissed off that he's got 4 kids that he's got to bring up in a world that will be shit within 10 years. He's pissed off because his missus left him 6 months ago. He's pissed off because he got thrown out the pub the night before. He's pissed off because he's probably got a hangover and then trying to drink to get rid of it, which we all know doesn't work that well. How much more of a lone wolf do you want than that? There was no organisation in that. They ought to think themselves bloody lucky, because the first hit back at Islam has been from a bit of a nutter, a lone wolf. So the damage he did, albeit probably people with a few broken bones I would guess, wasn't that bad. The bloke had died. They tried to bury the fact that the Muslims were treating him outside this welfare centre in East London because he'd had a heart attack, and he died of a fucking heart attack. He didn't die because he was hit by a van. Oh, it does do your bonce in. I've had a couple of days off because it was really affecting me badly, and I can see it's not going to take long to reach that point again. Nobody asked you. Excuse me. I don't know about you, it's absolutely baking down here again. The last couple of days have been unbearable. And that could be another reason why this guy went off his rocker. Dehydrated from all the booze. And then the heat. Anyway. What I want to get back to now is saw Tommy Robinson. Our hero, because he is a hero. Because he puts his life on the line for what is right. He was on Good Morning, and Piers Morgan and that other sidekick that he's got, I can never remember her name, she don't get a word in edgewise anyway. Nobody does with Piers Morgan. I'd started to get a bit of respect for Piers Morgan the last few weeks. He seemed to be saying things as they were, and he wasn't being biased. And now this morning he's just gone and fucked it right up. He couldn't have been more biased towards Tommy Robinson if he had tried. He had judged Tommy Robinson from what he thought Tommy Robinson was 10 years ago. Even though Tommy Robinson wasn't what he thought he was, even then. The trouble is, you name these groups. I named mine, British Warrior Within. He named his English Defence League. And they sound quite intimidating. But I think you do this because what you're trying to do is you're trying to protect your country. Perhaps we ought to come up with some name that wouldn't offend too many people, like the Nancy Ponsin Ladybird Fighters or something like that. Although fighters would probably make it a bit violent, I suppose, wouldn't it? But what Piers Morgan did to Tommy Robinson this morning, Tommy gave just as much back. It's just he got shut down because they said, "Oh, this is our show, you're our guest, and we ask the questions." And it fucking pisses me off because that Piers Morgan lives, 12 miles, was born about 12, 15 miles from where I live. I've played football and refereed football at the town where he said that he went to school, Chailey. But they tried to make him look like some kind of anarchist, and they loved the word Islamophobe, which, as Tommy quite rightly pointed out, is a phobia is an irrational fear of things. How can it be irrational to have a fear of Islam when there are 100 verses that incite the killing of us people, the kuffars, the infidels? That's not irrational. Tommy could have answered every single one of his questions comprehensively and shot him down, but Morgan wouldn't let him. So Piers Morgan, I know you don't give a shit about people's opinions, but you seem to be doing the right thing. And now what, have they threatened to pull you? Because you absolutely stunk this morning. What you did was appalling. And well done, Tommy, for holding your ground and still getting the message across as well as you could. They were determined you weren't going to get the message across, that Islam is going to destroy this country. They took the chance of bringing you on. Their fault, isn't it? Oh, again, back a day or two, and to the fire. What are they doing now? This is so much a... Not the incident itself. I'm pretty convinced that that was a genuine incident that perhaps wasn't stage managed. But God, it was stage managed after that. The way they've got all the leftists and the, I don't know, the local morons really, trying to drum up hate towards the Tories, when the people that were in control in that area were Labour. The local councils were Labour. Everything about that building was done by Labour. Jeremy Corbyn in 2007, all those buildings that didn't have sprinklers, when they decided in 2007 that buildings needed sprinklers, they voted on whether that should be done retrospectively. And Jeremy Corbyn voted against it. So he decided that building didn't need sprinklers. Well done, Jeremy Corbyn. You're a cracker, mate, aren't you? Again, don't get me wrong, I'm not for Tories, I'm not for Labour, I'm not for Lib Dems, or any of the other silly parties. Excuse me again, I've got such horrible hay fever. If I keep sniffing, I do apologise profusely. So, Labour, I would just hate them to be in, because it's them that in the past have caused all this misery. Whether we'll ever get anybody in that does anything, I don't know. I saw a great video this morning, and I've forgotten what the guy's name is now. I've seen a couple of his videos. And what he's quoting is about the 1668 Act, which it's all about oaths and what the Queen swore when she took on the monarchy. What the MPs swear, what the police have to swear. All of this, they swear to this, and it is to look after the people. And the minute they don't do this, I have spoken about this before, the minute they don't do this, you can invoke Article 61 of the Magna Carta. It's all about our Constitution, which still stands. You can invoke Article 61, which allows you to, I can't think of the right word, you know when your mind goes blank, where it allows you to do, I suppose it's better than nothing, lawful rebellion. Involve yourself in, maybe. And lawful rebellion is such things as not paying council tax, not paying this, not paying that, anything to do, and you can do anything to mess with the government as long as it doesn't involve a breach of the peace, basically. That's what it boils down to. Anything where you hurt someone, you steal, things like that. But anything else is fair game. The only thing I would differ with what this guy said was he said that you can do a mass swearing of your oath for the Article 61, and he's trying to get that together. He's trying to get a message to Tommy Robinson. Tommy, if you watch this guy's trying to get in touch with you. You will find it on YouTube. He's a real Londoner, you know, it's in glasses, and he's trying to get this video to you. I have sent it to you on Facebook. But from what I've read, you need to contact one of 5, or maybe 4 now, because I think one's really ill at the moment, barons that brought up the treaty. And they did this some years ago. And because they did this, if you contact them and you say, right, I want lawful rebellion, as long as you've got a copy of send it by registered post, get a copy of the signature, and you do it on tracking, and then you just do a screenshot. You've got that as a copy, and then you can actually involve yourself in lawful rebellion. But I'm not so sure you can just swear it unless there's perhaps one of the barons there. I don't know, perhaps that's what he's looking at. I don't know, but I can't see him turning up at that. But look it up on the internet. Look up Article 61. Article 61. There's a site that actually specialises in that, in the Magna Carta and specifically Article 61. So people are now going to start making their stand, because once one person does it, it spreads. And what the police and the authorities will try and do now is they will try and come down hard on the people like Tommy Robinson, like Paul Golding, like Jada Branson, etc, etc. That's why people like you and me, we are really important. Because to the police, we're not important. As I said before, that's great, that's absolutely fantastic. Everything I say is my personal opinion on what is going on. You don't have to agree with me. Sometimes I don't agree with myself. But if you do agree with me, you have still got to come to that conclusion yourself that what I'm saying is correct, and that you, deep inside, want to do something about it. That's why I've been going to places, up to Sunderland the other way. Because if you don't really want to do something about it, you're just lulled into that, well, I'll have a bit of a grizzle on Facebook. But you need to do something positive, we all do. It is numbers. What that guy did actually hasn't helped sort anything out, has it? It's just given the Islamists something to cry about and make themselves look like the victim again. So what we need is a mass rising of feeling, a mass rising of people, and it's not just against Islam, is it? It's against the government that have let us down, which is the lawful rebellion part of it. You can't just rise up against your government if they've done anything, but they haven't protected us, they haven't stuck to the oath that they took. The Queen hasn't stuck to the oath that she took. She said she would protect her people. So that's everybody. That's everybody who should be looking after us, isn't? The police especially. People say they're a political arm now and they're just told what to do. I still say that's absolute shit. That's horse shit. You look at some of these cops, they're actually loving what they're doing. It's because they get to hit people. And that's what they like doing. So I think we'll always be fighting the police, because they actually enjoy what they're doing. I thought we might get them on our side and realise what's going on is wrong and it needs to stop. Perhaps, I don't know, if the Islamic terrorists target a large group of police or whatever at some stage, perhaps that might turn them. I don't know. It's obviously one getting stabbed didn't. That wasn't enough to turn them. There you go. I'd just like to say a big, massive thank you, and how proud that I am of those firemen that had to go through that hell at that tower. It's something that I could never do. Why would you walk into a burning building? Don't know how you do it, guys. So a massive thank you from Sussex, from me in particular. What you do is amazing, and you deserve 10 times the amount of pay that you get. I know it doesn't happen often, and a lot of the time you get paid for sleeping, as the critics say. Well, you deserve every second of that if you have to go into one of them fires in your lifetime, because that's going to affect you forever. Okay, I think I've said what I want to say this morning. Didn't do much prep this morning. First time I've got up and felt not too hot to actually want to just lay on the bed and die, because oh god, don't you just hate the heat. Nice to speak to you people again, and we have got to stick together as Britons and stand up to Islamic terror, the Islamification of Britain and their enablers, which is the government and the police. We have got to do this, otherwise things will only get worse. Please think about it, come to your own conclusion. That is my opinion, and that's what I believe we've got to do. You take care now. See you later.